Hello and welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here again to speak about light infantry because Jarvis Johnson have changed the rules for the light infantry and open order, and not everything but most of what I said in the last video about how to play light infantry has changed, and in my opinion has changed for good. Most of the rule remain the same. Light infantry and light cavalry as open order and get +2 to the messenger for the unit test. A light infantry as open order and skirmisher. Add 2 to the messenger test if it is a detachment or part of brigade consists only of light infantry unit. And this is where the change is most relevant on the play, the style of play. Then its losses are halved during the fire phase if they are defending a terrain, and it can use the move or a retreat to occupy and exit from a terrain in the same turn. This is not changed, just better said. Skirmisher, no open order, sorry. This unit can be set up in two ways, with 2 ranks or 1 ranks with a quarter of inch or half an inch between the bases, and this is very important rule. Then they remain that half the losses suffer in the fire phase. They have a movement of 9. 8 is on the old data sheets, but talking with Jarvis is keen to change this to 9 inches for infantry, 18 for cavalry. It is light infantry if the light infantry its movement is not affected by rock terrain, -1 in melee unless they are in cover, and only 1 in melee if they are lending support, can move across friendly unit also in open order, even if not of the same brigade. This is essentially the rule. What does it mean, this change of rule? First of all, the most important things is that you can feel a brigade made only of light infantry, and this is great for the tactical support that can offer such a formation can offer to the game on the table. And it represents how the Leger battalion were packed together and worked together, or the light brigade for the Brits work, especially in the peninsula, but you can use elsewhere with the same good effect. This is a battalion of Leger in open order and resemble a line, and this is on 2 ranks and still in open order. The benefits are essentially the same as before. What really changed is that you have a +2 to the activation if they are 12 inches from their officer, and that means that you can easily protect all your army with a single brigade of light infantry. In this case, I put one brigade of 3 line battalion in column of attack, plus their detachment in front of them, protected, skirmished by an entire brigade of Leger light infantry. The advantage of this formation, as I said, they protect your main advance from enemy fire without being troubled because some of your battalion is out of command range. They fail to activate on only on a 1, and reasonably how many battalion you can fail to activate in a single row, maybe just 1, and you have still the possibility to drop a card for a single battalion activation if you don't need it elsewhere. And these 2 different deployment allow you to use your leger in close space, deploying in this way, or occupy more space, deploying in this way. This is the most obvious use of a brigade, but it's a kind of waste in my opinion. It would depend on the battle, the aim of the battle, the objective. Maybe it's a necessity to have a veil of a skirmisher in front of them. But where this formation shine is operate by themselves on a flank of your main attack line. Why? Because they have a high rate of fire, so they can put a huge amount of damage into the enemy and open the way, pave the way for the light infantry or the cavalry that will come behind them. And using them in this way is a way to use your light infantry not to charge, and they are ready to fall back when the danger come in, but it also what I may say, you can cover a flank, you can envelop an enemy and submerge into the fire, because they have 4 dice each if they shoot to different target, or they anyway accumulate a quite intimidating firepower, receiving few casualty back because they have the losses during the fire phase, and in any moment the danger came close to them, a light infantry and cavalry, they can still change their formation. And yes, they move slowly than before. They only move 9, so at the best 18 on the double. But in my opinion, again, this is correct, because with 12-inch movement or a 24 at the double, if they start the game, they can easily grab midfield objective, midfield position, and then they do not have even to stay in close order. They can form a line and defend, or alternate the battalion to protect the objective long enough to allow the reinforcement to come. Don't forget that you can advance with all your army and still have some firepower shoot from them even if they move, because they can use skirmisher and shoot and then move, and when they use skirmisher they halve their shooting value. So where a column of attack or a line shoot with 1 dice, they shoot with 2 dice each if they take different target, or 3 dice if they land fire support, or which is the most probable case. It's hard to have more than 3 dice if you are so spread out across the table. Now, moving in some game situation, just to clarify what I'm saying to you. Imagine to have to assault a battalion which are defending a village such as this way, okay. As you can see, these 2 units that move 9-inch forward, this one, using its light infantry ability, has moved across this terrain, enter and exit in the same turn, so can be essentially be redeployed, and they are, yes, within 12 inches from the Brits, which can shoot with only 3 dice against one of your battalion, and even with 3 hits in a row, they only receive 1 casualty. Then, in return, they have two choices. They can stay put and shoot, and they will shoot with 4 plus 1 plus 1, so 6 dice against the Brits, or they even can advance again and still shoot with 4 dice, because they can shoot with their skirmisher, supporting with the skirmisher of these two battalions, and they are 6 dice in total, and then still move. And this gain you essentially time, because it's not easy to break one of your light battalion with just the fire from a line. And you may say maybe the Brits have more fire to pack together. Indeed, yes, the Brits probably will, but anyway, in any case, you still have your casualty. And in the worst case, when your battalion is taking enough casualty to be a good idea to fall back, in a situation like this, it can fall back behind the screen of detachment, so they are not the closest one. They can be replaced by another battalion that take their place and still keep shooting, and then the rest of the army will pack together. This situation, think in a situation like this, the possibility that if you have to fall back, you have enough room to fall back and not be the closest one anymore, still be operative, still be in the possibility to rally next turn, and or simply you fall back so you do not take any more casualty in this turn. Then move your screen of detachment in front of them. Maybe start to maneuver your column if you have enough space this turn, and the next turn they will simply move away on that side or on this side, are out of action for a few turns, maybe for the rest of the game, but you have not lost your battalion, so no Valor Fortitude tests are required for your commander. And in the same situation, the farthest one, if you not fail the activation on a 2+, they can move, threaten the flank of the Brits, which can enter into the fray, or still protect, then shooting with the skirmisher 18 inches, and you put the 2 shot into the Brits and then move again. And if the Brits or the enemy will menace to move forward to engage your light troop, at the end of the second movement you can pack together and form the line. And remember, a light battalion, especially for the French, is better if it is in line, because the column of attack, which grant bonuses from the French, grant them 1 less die. They only have 3 attack in melee. If they stay in line, they have 4. If they go into column of attack and are light battalion, they have only 3, because they not gain any dice in column of attack. So use them as a shooty part of your army. And when they've done their job, they must, or better, should move away, open the way for what is coming, which may are 2 or 3 battalion, maybe 1 veteran, maybe grenadier. If you play into the Eastern Front, could be even your guard or your heavy cavalry. And if everything go according to the plan and everything go well, when your main force enter the fray, your opponent will have at least its front line, if not battered, with a situation of disadvantage in terms of casualty. Another situation could be a rapid redeployment. You can spread your troops, but when you identify the place where you want to grab and hold as long as possible, you can quickly redeploy your light infantry and form a flank made of light infantry, maybe supported with light cavalry or artillery, and they are an hard nut to crack. What they have to avoid as long as possible, if not everything, is melee against a better melee unit such as veteran cavalry, etc., especially if you are in open order. The last tips that I have to give you is to use a light battalion, a light brigade, British, French, Austrian, whatever you want. Try to make it as large as possible. 4, better 5 or 6 unit, in order to get bonuses when they have to test, because they will have to test. In my last video I cannot do this because I have not enough light battalion or detachment, but remember that you can pack together all your light infantry and detachment in a single brigade. You can also make a combined brigade with cavalry and light battalion work together, and try to think on a dog formation made maybe with 4 battalion of light infantry, a couple of units of light cavalry and horse artillery. They can easily move quickly, take an objective and hold an unlimited time. They are not invulnerable, and they are not eternal. They will die or they will force to fall back, but reasonably in a 2-hour games, in a 8-10 turn games, your light brigade will lost some units, but probably they still test with a Fortitude on a 3+ or 2+ if your overall commander is within the range of your officer. It is not difficult to take your light brigade officer within 12 inches of your overall commander, because with the rule of the messenger, even if you have some of your unit all around the table, they will still activate on a 2+. Do not underestimate the light brigade in any kind of army. And in my opinion, I deploy French, but the Brits, with their rules, with the rifle, with their rule for fire, can exploit the static even better than the French. And if you want to replay the tactic used in the peninsula, you can even play understrained unit, 3 and 3 company, so you can pack together a large brigade, a very shooty army, maybe half a company of riflemen, a detachment of riflemen, a company of light infantry, a couple of understrained battalion of light infantry, and work as the Brits act in the peninsula. And plus you can still understrain your unit and push up their tenacity. You will end up pay almost the same as a full battalion, but the flexibility of just 3 single bases in open order that can move all around are pretty invaluable. You can do this with the French too, but it resembles more a Brits way to operate rather than the French, which use their Léger as part of the main army and often as a line infantry too, and just operate in open order at the beginning of the battle. But try with your in your games and let me know what do you think about this change in the comments below. These are essentially the latest change in the rule from the parry, and something has changed in the points too, just to according to the new rules for light infantry, and in my opinion is a good very good change, very good change. And that's it for this small video of update about the rule of the light infantry. Hope that you enjoyed it, and please feel free to tell me what do you think about if you have just experienced these changes. Thank you for watching, and for now, bye bye.